until Johansson, who has played primarily challenger events in the ITF circuit. Started the year at 140, got up to 106, and primarily because of her success playing ITF events. Showing a little power there, hitting the winner, 40-30.
Hingis has only played 6 total matches since about May in Berlin. We talk about Serena Williams not having a lot of match play coming into the U.S. Open. Serena not playing since Wimbledon, but Hingis has played a couple of hard court tournaments during the summer. She lost in the 3rd round, San Diego, to Schneider. In a tough 3-setter. It was hot and it was a very physical match. I'm sure that didn't help her back much. Lost the next week in L.A. in her first match to Sonia Mirza.
Advantage Hingis. Hingis with a point to hold. If you're playing Martina Hingis and you know she's been battling injury, do you try to move her around as much as you can?
I think you just start off playing your game. But you know, against Hingis, you're not going to probably be receiving quite as much power as most of the players in the top 10, but she will move you around, use the angles well.
So Martina Hingis holds to start the match.
First game.
And now let's take a look at our Healthy Choice player profile. Her career record at the U.S. Open, 41-8. Of course, the 1997 champion. Left the game for 3 years. Her ranking has gone from 6 to 17 from the beginning of the year, and she has been battling a bad back and hip injury, which just hasn't gone away. Just when she thinks she's better, it resurfaces. So Johansson's opening service game.
Left 15.
Abbreviated service motion. We've seen a lot more of that on the women's tour. We feel that it takes some stress off the shoulder. Mauresmo, not as quite as abbreviated, but Sharapova, now this, Mauresmo for years, 2 years has been like that. Sharapova this summer has abbreviated a bit.
Love 30.
Double fault and in a hole at love 30. How effective is that in saving the wear and tear on the shoulder?
Well, you know, I've never tried it personally, but it must work because player after player is going to it.
That was right on the line from Johansson.
Justine Enna has even tinkered with it.
15.
Justine Enna coming to the Open with a bit of a sore right shoulder.
The double break point.
15-40.
Hingis, former world #1, 43 career titles.
What a great comeback year. We talked about that. A lot of people, when she was coming back, were wondering, can she compete with the top 10? She doesn't hit as hard as they do, doesn't have that killer serve.
There's the break right on the line, beautifully executed, and Hingis quickly to love.
2 games to love. First set.
If you look at some other scores, Kuznetsova advances. Patty Schnyder, the 11th seed, winning the first set. Tracy, what is the biggest difference between Martina Hingis now and Martina Hingis in her prime when she was #1 in the world?
She says that she has a little more fear now. Some of the shots that she's missing, she would have made before. At 16 and 17, you just play on instinct.
15 left.
I really appreciate that she's honest about that. But I really think her game isn't different. It's just the game of women's tennis has been raised up a couple of levels. Longest point of the match.
Johansson hanging in there and letting Hingis make the mistake.
15-all.
97, when Hingis was dominated, she won 3 of the 4 Grand Slams, only lost in the finals of the French to Eva Maioli. I mean, that game that she had then just doesn't transcend the game now. I mean, I think the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena, they really raised the bar with their power and with their defensive ability.
22 shots in that previous exchange. Both players taking a couple extra moments.
That's why when she came back last year, 2006, and only her 3rd tournament back, got to the quarters of the Australian. I think she even surprised herself, surprised everybody. Ended the year by making a season-ending championship, so that's the top 8 women in the world.
All. Nice play from Johansson.
Good anticipation.
Great opportunity for her.
And this was what was fun about seeing Hingis back, is just the versatility, the different changes of pace in her game, because so much of women's tennis these days is just about hitting the ball hard. She likes to sneak in mid-points, hit volleys out of the air, nice angles, drop volleys.
Johansson has struggled in qualifiers. She lost in qualifying in San Diego, Los Angeles, and also in New Haven. So she's been frustrated. Trying to make a statement here against a former world #1. Toronto was the other tournament where she lost in the qualifiers.
Takes a big swing at it. And I think the players are feeling now that Hingis is a lot more vulnerable than she was last year. Lost to Granville, mentioned 3rd round of Wimbledon. So wide. Hingis struggled last year. We did the match bill for Ginny Rosano. Ginny Rosano beat Hingis in straight sets, and it was really an unusual match because Hingis went down so quickly.
There's the hole, little fist pump from Martina Hingis. 3-love here in the first.
Excuse us. Psych is taking a break, but we'll return.
I chose Sarah Beth Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny.
That's funny. I chose Sarah, Beth, Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny. Your friends are hot.
Are you gonna do anything?
Maybe you should have uglier friends.
Who's in your Fave 5? With My Faves, each family member gets unlimited calls to any 5 people. Any number, even landlines. T-Mobile, stick together.
The U.S. Open on USA is brought to you in part by Ask.com. Get videos, images, MP3s, and more all on one page. Only when you search on Ask.com. Ask. Get instant gratification. By Valspar Paint, the beauty goes on. And by Canon PowerShot digital cameras. Make every shot a power shot. We're back in New York. And let's take you over to Louis Armstrong Stadium now and look in on Nicole Vitus Silva, the number 13 seed, who's in against Alla Kudryavtseva of Russia. Vitus Silva won the first set 6-1 and leads serving at 30-15, 4-2 here in the second. Nicole Vitus Silva, who's been away from the game a little bit, struggling with a viral infection, kept her out for a couple of months.
She has not played since Wimbledon. She lost the quarters there against Jankovic.
And I would think, Tracy, as she comes back, the key thing is the stamina.
Very much so. She had that viral illness all summer. And that takes a lot out of you. She hasn't played a match. She's been very consistent this year, getting to semis of Australia, lost to Serena Williams, the French quarters to Jankovic. Quarterfinal match at Wimbledon against Ivanovic. She held 3 match points.
Alla Kudryavtseva, 20 years old. She's ranked 64th in the world. Trying to climb back in this match. This is Nicole Vitus Silva's first tournament since Wimbledon. She just started hitting 2 and 3 weeks ago.
Kudryavtseva, he played Venus Williams in the first round at Wimbledon, and it was a very tight match.
Kudryavtseva is challenging Nicole on the right far sideline. Ball was called.
Kudryavtseva with the challenge.
And we'll take a look at our Chase review, brought to you by J.P. Morgan Chase.
Ready,
The call is just caught the line.
Wait.
I don't think that's correct. It's in. He's going to mention that subtle point.
How could it be out? It's touching the line.
There we go.
There we go. That works.
Well, we meant to say it was in. Oops. Finally, an excuse to yell at the machine.
Calling in just to make sure.
Right.
That ball was in.
Double-check
We're
that.
calling that in, right?
Either that or looking for a reservation tonight at BLT Steak. I'm not sure which.
Aren't they glad that we came to this match just a game ago?
Ladies and gentlemen, long. Advantage by Silva. Kudryavtseva has 1 chance remaining.
There we go. So Vitus Silva holds for 5-2 in the second set. So trying to close it out in straight sets. Nicole Vitus Silva will be back with more from New York right after this.
Retirement planning? Hey, what are you doing in the front of the mine? Well, Mass Mutual made saving in my 401k easier, so here I am. Oh, well, let me introduce you around. That's, I'm Cole. Over here is I'm hungry. And yours truly, what's on TV? Hey, I love TV. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Move retirement planning to the front of your mind. Mass Mutual will help you get there.
Thinking about your nasal allergy symptoms? Only Nasonex is clinically proven to treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms. And Nasonex is prescribed by allergists more than any other nasal allergy spray. And it was used by more than 6 million people last year. What is the nasal spray you should ask your doctor about? Nasonex. Well, you already knew that.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Ask your doctor if Nasonex is the one for you.
Guys are always looking for the next big thing, especially when it comes to the latest technology. Presenting Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant with advanced triple protection system. It locks out odor, keeps you dry, makes you smell great all day. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Triple protection technology for men.
Alla Kudryavtseva serving to stay in this match, down 2-5 and a set against Nicole Vitus Silva, the 13th seed. Vitus Silva's ranking since she was out with that viral infection has dropped from number 10 on July 9th to 15th coming into the Open.
Vitus Silva's had some bad luck with injuries and illness this year. She had to withdraw from about 3 tournaments before the French with a right wrist injury. You see it's taped just for precautionary measures. You know, Bill, so many players are having wrist injuries now. They have them taped or they're off the tour for a bit. The game is so much more demanding on the wrist because they're using so much more wrist and heavy topspin in their shots to try to develop the speed.
So 40 love.
Vitus Silva with a monstrous serve, huge ground strokes. Not too comfortable at the net. Played very solid today. So often when you've been ill and you come back, and she kind of knows she can't go to 3 sets probably right now. The stamina lacking. She's really focused. Sometimes when you have an injury or just coming back, your focus becomes more acute.
She probably had a lot of questions herself and was curious, how am I going to respond? How am I going to play? Am I going to be tired? How rusty will I feel? Kudryavtseva with 19 unforced errors. 10 on the forehand side. 40-30, 2-5 second set. A loose point there from Kudryavtseva, and that takes us to deuce. So Vitus Silva, a couple of points away from getting out in straight sets.
Kudratseva's had some brutal draws in Grand Slams. Mentioned she lost to Venus 7-5 in the first round of Wimbledon. Kudratseva only 19, very solid game. What you look for in young players coming up, something special in their movement, their ability to focus and mentally tough, or a big shot to end points.
Back to deuce.
Kudratseva seems to get the opening, seems to get Vitus Silva on the run, and that's where you want to keep Vitus Silva on the run. Vitus Silva, a decent mover, but not the quickest in the top 15.
Kudratseva ranked 64, got to a career high of 59 back in June. And now the opportunity is Vitus Silva's to end things right here. And the double fault gives it to her. There's a smile, and she's happy that this one's done. Coming back from a lengthy illness, the number 13 seed. And she was pretty impressive, 6-1 and 6-2. And let's take a look at what is ahead for Nicole Vitus Silva, the number 13 seed. Shahar Peer, maybe her opponent in the third round, Tracy.
Yeah, or Flavia Pennetta next up. Can't look too far ahead in women's tennis these days. Flavia Pennetta from Italy, Peng Shuai from China, Bethany Maddock and Madison Brangle, two young Americans playing each other, and Malin too, another American playing Shahar Peer. Shahar Peer, very talented, very feisty player.
So it ends in a double fault, straight sets for Nicole Vitus Silva. She moves on. We'll return with more from the Open on USA in a moment.
Everyone's yapping about DirecTV's NFL Sunday Ticket and how it lets you choose from every game every Sunday. If I can watch every game on Sunday, what am I going to read about in the John on Monday?
Join now and get 4 months free of our Best TV package with DirecTV's NFL Sunday Ticket.
They'll be filling in those big boards outside of the show courts as the 2 weeks of the U.S. Open progress. And the field narrows. We got a little cloud cover today, but very comfortable temperatures here on day 2 of the 2007 U.S. Open as we welcome you back here on USA. The fans outside taking in the action on the outer courts, and here's the scene at the grandstand, and Jim Courier back with us, and let's talk a little bit about Sam Querrey in his first full year on tour.
Well, Sam Querrey, a finalist just 2 years ago at the U.S. Boys 18 and under champions, has burst into the top 50. Bill McAtee, he has come onto the scene in a hurry, and along with John Isner, who's also fast rising.
Donald Young
Jr.,
who beat him at the 18s in 2005 in the final.
That's right. We take a look at the highlights here for Big Sam. Look at that win over James Blake. First top 10 win in Indianapolis, then Cincinnati, beating some quality players and reaching the quarterfinals of a Masters Series for the first time and settling into life on tour. This is a guy who's really more of a late bloomer, Bill.
He's 19 years old and 6'6", playing in the Open for the second time. We've talked about the taller players. We saw Ivo Karlovic earlier, and John Isner, and he's not quite as tall, but still a big man at 6'6".
He is, and very solid player from the baseline, Sam Querrey. Getting around the court.
Great movement.
Yeah, setting up 3 set points here against the veteran, Stefan Kubek. And that drop shot's not getting it done. Sam's up there with more than enough time. And that is impressive stuff.
Went after that, but it was long.
So 1 set point saved for Kubek.
And with 3 career titles, finalist in Chennai in January, which is one of the. Did you ever play that event? One of the hottest events.
Thankfully not.
In tennis in the middle of summer there in southern India.
I played Davis Cup in India, and I loved the experience there, but it was cool when we went there. I don't want to be anywhere near the equator or anywhere where it's going to be blisteringly hot.
Well, we were talking yesterday, looking, I think it was Donald Young, about learning to close. And this is a 6th set point for Sam.
And they've all come on the racket of Kubek. No breaks of serve in this match thus far, so some frustration, justifiably so, for Sam on that shank backhand there. That was, it may be in his head a little bit, but it does take a little time to figure these things out. As we're witnessing this year, really, if you've been following Sam Querrey, is really it's the education of Sam Querrey. This is a man who came into the top 100 and is now trying to establish himself. Ooh, great stuff by Kubek there.